please make welcome Year 11 students' understanding of the nature of science, Blair, Northcott.
Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Blair Northcott. I'm a PhD student from the Faculty of Education, and my topic is looking at student understanding of the nature of science. Now, what this involves is the school-based idea that nature of science is simply what are the concepts that students need in order to develop their scientific literacy and competency. Such as, do they have the knowledge to look at Ken Ring's claims about earthquakes and you go, yeah, that's a valid scientific idea, or do they go, no, you're full of hot air? Okay? So in order to do this, I decided to take some established NOS questionnaires, break them down, simplify them to make them appropriate for Year 11 students, and to use that screening device to pick out particular students who I wanted to interview who represented a range of views on this. So I took the questionnaire. I managed to get 500 students, roughly from 4 schools and 3 slightly different school program backgrounds. Gave them the questionnaire. They happily sat there for 15 minutes, filled it in, and I took that and spent several hours trying to statistically analyze what was going on. Now, I fully expected the 5 NOS concepts that I put in the questionnaire to be the grouping category for all of these ideas. Obviously, it didn't work. Instead, 4 concepts came out. And those 4 concepts, when I looked at them deeply, didn't seem to represent explicit nature of science ideas. Instead, they seemed to represent general beliefs about the way knowledge is constructed. So I decided to follow that path. I broke the students up into those 4 groups, selected students that represented those beliefs, and began to interview them. And what became immediately apparent was there were no NOS concepts with students. Despite it being in our curriculum, they weren't being explicitly exposed to it. Instead, concepts like law and theory, they were putting together for themselves. They were using the everyday terms. They were then combining that with their innate beliefs about the way knowledge is constructed. And this was creating wonderful, colourful, creative concepts and frameworks about how science works. However, they're flawed. They're significantly flawed. They create distorted images of science. And that's not what we want when we expect our citizens to go out and make good judgment claims about things like climate change, genetic modification, cancer risks. So we need to change things. The key things that we need to change is, obviously, teachers need to be more explicit about what they're teaching. But they can't do that alone. They need education researchers, they need NOS experts, they need scientists to get together and create a very simplified, correct basis that they can give to the students that can act as a foundation stone for students to build their own understanding of science from. Thank you. I get to sit here while you guys decide.
Well done, Blair. Very nice, accessible style, and you did an excellent job of summarising what not only what your PhD was about, but the kind of recommendations that will come out of it. So well done, Blair.
Thank you
Good
very
start.
much.